Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful Business Spotlight interview. And we've got a great interview today. We've got Michelle from the Derbyshire Mortgage Services. Bit of a hint to the name, what you do, but please tell us all about your business, Michelle.
Okay, so I'm a mortgage brokerage based in Derby. So I'd have thought that was obvious given the name, but so I'll tell you anyway. So my job is to basically find people the best mortgage deal. Probably what's unique about us is that we don't charge a fee for mortgage advice, which is a strong belief of mine that I think financial advice should be sort of available to all, and that's really where my business started and kind of has grown with that ethos. So yeah.
So, what you don't charge? Obviously, if someone gets a mortgage with
Mhm.
you get the commission, etc. But you don't charge a
So
consultant fee.
yeah, so a lot of mortgage brokers, and there's no criticism from me from that. Everybody's business model is their own, but a lot of mortgage brokers will charge a fee on top of the commission, which is fair enough. Some mortgages are really complex. My company tends to deal with more 2.4 children, Rolls-Royce, NHS workers, not exclusively, but we deal with a lot of people that just want to go, I want to buy my first house or I'm buying my next house. I just want a bit of support, a bit of advice. So they're using a lot of lenders like Nationwide, Halifax, that are sort of easier to deal with, not your more unusual lenders like Bluestone or something like that. That's a lot of administration from the mortgage broker. So, our job is obviously always to get people the best deal. But I find by making the advice free and accessible, we've had more clients come to us, stay with us. So I've done people's children, now that, and they've paid the mortgage off. And if I do the grandchildren, then that's it for me. Definitely retiring. But yeah, so that's how it works, really. So it's a bit of a different model from your typical mortgage brokerage, I suppose.
That's really interesting. We were chatting before. You've been going for how many years?
So 20 years on the 24th of May. So yeah, so a long time.
A long time. So
Yeah.
what changes have you seen over that time? Quite a few, I should imagine.
So 2005, I started. First major one was the financial crash, 2007, 2008. So I remember we used to have an office in Duffield, being stood in my office with my business partner at the time, and talking about going to be a postwoman and what we were going to do, because it just fell off the earth. To me, mortgages just went. Nobody could buy anything. Northern Rocks sort of crash, all the 100% mortgages. It was just wild, and that was in the first 3 years of business. But we managed to keep going and keep providing good service, and I think because we hadn't done a large amount of those self-cert mortgages or the adversary mortgages, actually didn't have as bigger effect on us as what we thought, because the more vanilla clients, if you like, kept buying, kept doing things. So we just sort of stuck with that model. And then for me personally, along came children in 2011, which is a massive change on a business if you're the head of it. Do you know what I mean? So for me, that sort of cemented sticking with customers that are probably slightly easier to deal with. Do you know what I mean? Less labour intense with the admin and sort of stuff, just want more support. So it sort of stuck with that, and the challenges that come with being a mom and trying to work everything out, and it's hard, but good. I think you don't miss assemblies when they're older, but you might miss out on play groups and stuff when they're younger, I guess. It's my opinion.
Absolutely fascinating. So I know we were chatting away beforehand again, as I say, you've got two um, young children and a couple of stepchildren, etc. So large family. So how do you actually balance this, your work life and your family life?
So yeah, I mean, I think my kids have always been used to me working. Luckily for me, my husband's amazing. Like when I was first started the business, would I would literally go, here's the baby at 6 o'clock, and I would go out and see my clients at night, and then look after the child in the day. Stanley, my oldest, and then latterly Ruby. Rob's parents, my husband's parents, were brilliant. Really supportive, having looked after both our children, even though they were seventh and eighth grandchildren. They still really stepped up and helped out. And but without that, you cannot possibly have the business that I've had. And then luckily, Rob was able to join the business, my husband, about 5 years ago. So now collectively, even though it was pain in the first few years, as a family now, we have a great lifestyle because we often take 3-4 weeks off over the summer, and we can just, because mortgages are quite quiet in August, so we can be with the children and the family, and we take our children are very activity orientated, so they like to do the football, the dancing, the drama, all that, so they all need taking, so we're always there to take and fetch them, and so it's great life really if you can make it all work, and
Fantastic. Well, what a great share that is. So, 20 years. Did you always want your own business?
No, absolutely not. So I hope I'm a good mortgage advisor. I really enjoy my job. So it just grew. I just kept getting recommended, and then I just had too many clients. So a good friend of mine, Laura, who still works here now, she'd come back from Australia, and she was like, "Mate, I can't get any work because of the crash." And I was like, well, actually, she was in financial services, and I said, you can come and join me. So, that's how it started with recruiting people. Kind of got Laura, then she'd get busy. Then I got another one. And there's like 14 of us now. So, it's great. Yeah. So, yeah.
14 of you.
Yeah.
That's quite some growth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also being going 20 years.
Yeah.
You must be pleased about that.
Yeah, I think it's nice because we're like a family, and not some of us are family. My brother works here, and obviously my husband, and my dad has worked here in the past. But it's most people have stuck with us as well. Like most people are coming up to sort of 10 years working here, which is really nice. So it's a nice place to be. I think to have that in the team.
That's a really interesting point. So 10 years, most people have been up to 10 years. So how do you retain staff? Is it obviously the culture?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something, I think you hear about this a lot. My young son at the moment's going through, that career choice, moving into year 10. What do you want to do? And he's been offered an opportunity to do day release from school, and then part of his interviews they're talking a lot about culture, and my nieces and nephews and my stepchildren, it's culture, the culture of this business, the culture of that business. And it's not something I've thought of. I think it's just been created by being nice, being decent, being flexible with your staff. Like Heather, the lady that runs my administration, she's worked for me for I think coming up to 10 years, and she was a massive win for the business. Like she works from home now. I couldn't tell you what she's doing on a day-to-day basis, but I know she's doing her job. Do you know what I mean? I know she's doing it well because the customer outcomes are really good, and I've got absolute trust and faith in her, that she gets the job done. So she's got some young grandchildren now, and occasionally she needs a bit of flexibility around that. So I'm absolutely here for it. So more than happy to let her have that flexibility. And I think it's like, I'll work hard for you if you work hard for me. And I just, it's never something I've particularly had a mission statement or had to think about. It's just natural. I think it's just being a nice person, a good person. You want people to be happy around you, and then everything, I think, works better in general, doesn't it, in life, personally?
You're absolutely right. And again, that's a great share. It's basically, in a nutshell, what you're actually saying. Uh, you respect them, they respect you.
Yeah, my dad was manager of the Derbyshire in town, like a big bank. And he always used to say, don't ask anybody to do what you won't do yourself. And, you've got to trust people in the first place. And then, most people that I have had a few, not great hires, I suppose everybody does in 20 years, but majority of my people, great trust in them, and they put their trust in me, and everybody's happy. My assistant Becky, she'll laugh because we have a holiday rota board thing. I don't have a clue. She's supposed to have like 22 days holiday or 23 or whatever it is. She could have 28. I have no idea. But as long as the job gets done, I don't feel the need to monitor it. We're all, pitching in, getting on. That's just how I work, really.
Brilliant. What a fantastic share. So what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
I think I probably should have, if I look right back, probably should have hired quicker, because I think you sort of, you're cautious because it's a wage. It's a big, it's a big commitment. Do you know what I mean? And you can see it directly coming off your bottom line. But without people around you, you can't grow. So yeah, I wish I'd probably done that a little bit sooner. Yeah, I just learn all the time. Things are changing all the time. Like COVID taught me a lot. My business changed irreconcilably in COVID, because it was all face-to-face appointments, driving out everywhere, all over Derbyshire, sometimes as far as Sheffield. No, I never leave this room, so, which is annoying sometimes but it's all, this is, everybody's business has changed, haven't they? You know what I mean? So yeah, so I think I've learned to run with stuff, go with stuff, embrace technology, even though it's not my comfort. I'm a bit old for that, but yeah, you have to kind of go with it, don't you?
Excellent. So, with the benefit of hindsight, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Yeah, so definitely hire quicker.
Yeah,
I would do differently. I would, yeah, I don't know really. I think that's the one thing. I'd probably get more support around me, in different areas. I don't think I'd stop broking if I'm thinking about it now. People say, "Oh, would you just ever want to just run your business and not be a mortgage broker?" I don't think I could. I think I need to know what's going on to be a good leader. So I probably wouldn't change that. Yeah, it'd just be get some more support staff to allow me probably to do a little bit more of what I enjoy, take a little bit more time off, reflect on the business a little bit more. Yeah, and just don't ever be afraid of anything. Just go for it.
fantastic. Well, that leads on to the final question. What is the best advice you give to an 18-year-old you?
Stretch, because I was quite a keen footballer in my youth, and before it was trendy actually, and had quite a couple of bad knee injuries. So I had to finish playing to play for Derby, and I had to finish playing. And now I'm literally like I can't. I'm like an old. I can run and stuff, but I'm like decrepit because I should have stretched more. And if I'd stretched more, I probably wouldn't have got injured. So I would say stretch, lift weights. Use some time for yourself. So it's nothing, no great business advice. Just look after your body a bit more when you're younger. That's what I'd say.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's probably some good advice for some people out there. So, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. That was brilliant.
Okay, thanks.